The Culture Experience. The Culture Experience.
You're listening to The Culture Experience with Mel and Bruce. I'm Mel Tillar, your host. I'm thrilled to be with you today. My guest today, one of my favorite people. I'm going to put that out there right out front. She's one of the hardest working women in Las Vegas, one of the most impactful women in Las Vegas. Her name is Kamilah Bywaters. She is the co-chair for the Las Vegas Alliance of Black School Educators. She's the third vice president for Clark County Democratic Party, and much, much, much more. It would take about 10 minutes to tell you all the things that she is doing. Kamilah, my friend, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be on your show. And thank you so much for the work that you're doing in the community. I look forward to our conversation and just, giving people an opportunity to get to know who I am. And some of the work that I do in Las Vegas is always so fun.
Yes. It must be fun because you're doing a lot of it.
I know. Listen, when people call for help, you just have to help, and that's how my dad raised me to be that individual and that person. And I've really embraced that. I love our community. I love people, and I just love helping people to become who they were meant to be and help people to solve and navigate any challenges that they have.
Okay, so you're running for Assembly District 2. What inspired you to run?
Goodness gracious, like that is the question, right? So if you don't remember, I did run for the school board for District E in 2024. And y'all, that race was as toxic could be. And just from the whole federal level down to the local level, it was a very hard experience. I was attacked. My family was attacked during the race. There were people who spread lies about our work and who we were, about our campaign. So my mom actually asked, she's like, Kamilah, are you sure you want to run again just after experiencing what you experienced the first time in 2024? And I looked at her and I smiled and I said, HELL hockey stick. Yeah. We're not going out like that because that is the purpose of political toxicity. The purpose of it is to get good people not to run. And for me, I'm like, bring it on, bring on more, because for an individual or opposition to come against good candidates in such a way, that means that you're a threat. So yes. I am so excited to run for Assembly District 2. And the reason that I am running is because I feel that I've been able to, just with the work that I've done with the Las Vegas Alliance of Black School Educators and the work that I do in the community, I've been able to help with our organization to help individual families. So for example, when students are being expelled and they shouldn't be expelled, that shouldn't be the course of action, we've been able to help students stay in school. When families are disappointed about customer service, we've been able to help families get the course of action that they want. When people who have been in leadership have been assistant principals and have been waiting their turn to be principals, we've been able to support individuals to become principals in the Clark County School District. We've helped families with all different types of scenarios that they need support with. We've helped teachers get jobs. We've helped teachers to move to different schools if they wanted to. So what I realized in that work is that although it's rewarding, we're helping a lot of individuals. And when we help those individuals, there's still other individuals who come back with the same problem.
Yes.
Which tells me that we're not impacting the system. We're just helping individuals to individually make a move in the way that they should within the system. At this time, I think that I would be more influential in being able to make laws that start to change the system so that we turn these individual problems into a solution that helps everyone who's experiencing it. So I'm running because my impact has been seen as a person kind of on the outside, as a leader in the organization. And I think that I'll have more impact in helping to transform systems as a lawmaker.
I love that you talked about laws. If you were to become the assembly person for District 2, what bills would you offer?
Oh yeah, this is a great question. So if you don't know, Assembly District 2 is in Summerlin. And some of my area is, let's see, you have some of the areas out here are Far Hills. We have Far Hills Avenue. We have Tompkins to Reno Avenue. So it's a Summerlin area. And what I love about it is that if you remember, for the school board, I had about 200,000 people that I had to reach.
Yes.
So now with Assembly District 2, my area in Summerlin gets so much smaller. So it's more about probably around like more 70,000, and that I will be able to reach those individuals. So one thing so I have 3 areas of interest as I've been doing my research on Summerlin in this specific area. Some of the topics of concern are education, public safety and crime, and affordability. In regards to affordability, we're talking about corporate housing, rental control, and supply and demand, right?
Yes.
So in regards to education, some policies that I'm interested in, or laws that I'm interested in, are the at-risk dollars and how those are being spent, and ensuring that money that's earmarked for a specific purpose goes to the purpose that it is that it's supposed to be utilized for. Another area of interest, in our area is in Summerlin area, families want to be a part of their children's education. They want to have a say, and I think that's a great part of working together with schools. And we know that we have lost a lot of our students a lot of our students have withdrawn from the Clark County School District. So I would love to work with our community and our schools to find ways to improve our educational system. In regards to public safety and crime, listen, everyone wants to feel safe in their neighborhoods. I think this is a great opportunity for us to collaborate with our local police officers, our safety teams, and build a community that can make sure that we have fair and equitable practices when we're talking about keeping communities safe. I do want to note that one thing that is absolutely important to me, this is an issue that I hear community members talk about a lot, is that oftentimes people feel really disconnected from their elected officials and
Yes.
those who are making laws. So these are some ideas and things that I've researched and I've thought about, but what's important to me is that the community really has their experience ingrained in the laws that they think will better serve their community. When I'm elected, listen, we're going for the win. My first initiative is to have a neighborhood-centered lawmaking strategy where I will be in the community and we will work together to build a law that the community thinks is vital for their growth and success. And that is one thing that is super important to me, is that my presence and that the community gets to know me. Listen, we gonna party like it's 1999. As soon as I can, like in January, like I am going to start January here. It's community cookouts, community gatherings. Like I want the community to have a part in the lawmaking, and I think that's a missing piece that we're missing, and I can't wait to do that work with the community.
Okay, Nevada's economy is heavily influenced by tourism and the service industry. So what policies would you support to diversify and strengthen our local job market?
Absolutely. I have had many opportunities to hear from our community about economics and small business owners in the Summerlin area. I remember speaking to a gentleman who had opposite beliefs than I did, but we were able to find some common ground in the business sector. And one thing that this gentleman told me is that he as a small business owner, he was finding it very difficult to, just to establish his work in the community. I know that there is, obviously, those with corporate dollars, they have the big bucks.
Yes.
They have the money to buy housing. They have the monies to make their businesses run. What I would like to see is a collaborative. We have to do some negotiations, right? And I'm not saying I'm the queen of negotiations, but one thing that I think I am good at is bringing people together. What I would like to see is corporate builders and small business owners come together and work together to build a framework that's not only going to, just keep all the money with people who are already millionaires and billionaires, but find a way to include small business owners in the work that they're doing. So this is really going to take a collaborative effort, conversations, learning to compromise, to give a little, take a little. And that's something that I would like to see when we're talking about economics, bringing our small business owners to the table with our corporate business owners. And, what's important to me is if we have people coming from other states to Nevada,
Yes.
then you have a responsibility to help support our community, right? If you're asking for taxpayers to support you, then we're going to ask for you to help support our small business owners that are struggling to just step into, the business market. And we can be creative, whether that's corporate leaders providing an opportunity within their space for small business owners to have a piece of the pie, whatever that looks like. So for me, what I would love to do is bring all parties to the table, and we have to negotiate on what this is going to look like and how our small business community and those who are trying to break into the business market can share in the profit making. And I hope does that make sense to you? What are you thinking, Mr. Tillar?
No, I like that. My question would be, how do you feel you would be able to get these large corporations who are not from Nevada, not from Las Vegas, and really don't care about Las Vegas, but are looking at the housing market just as a way to make money? How do you feel you're going to be able to get those people to the table?
So that is a challenge, and I think this is where I think this is both and. It's myself doing the work. I'm going to be attractive because the goal is to be a lawmaker, and the people who have the people who want their initiatives to be to move forward, they need my vote. Now, here's why I say both and. But this also requires the community to pay attention to who's running, because we know that majority wins, right? So it will be easier to move the initiatives. I don't want to say easier, but I think it would be, I guess the ground would be a little more smoother if there are people who are in elected positions who believe the way that we do. Now, if we have a system of assembly members who do not value what we value and believe that corporate leaders should just take over, then that's going to minimize the votes of those who want to include our community. So one, it's going to require me to do my work to build relationships, which I have no problem doing. I've been able to connect with people who believe opposite of me. In my last race, I was endorsed. It was a nonpartisan race, and I'm a Democrat, but I was endorsed by an organization that endorsed Trump.
Oh,
so
okay.
That shows that right there was I was like, oh my goodness, wow, they endorsed me and Trump. Like, okay, that was very two sides of the spectrum. But what that shows is that my ability to meet people where they are. And I think that's something that I bring to the table. I'm not going to say that it will be easy, but I also don't plan to do this work on my own. I do plan to have a team of individuals who are who have expertise in negotiations, have expertise in business and finance. Like that is not my expertise area. So I will be reaching out to my community leaders who have that, who have those skills to help bring who we need to the table. At the end of the day, we have to try new things, and we have to because I have realized how hard this work is really going to be hard, because everyone has their own ideas about success. Everyone has their own ideas on what should be the plan. But what I hope to do is to bring our community of leaders together, people who are experts in this space and who can help to guide me and our team through making these type of negotiations. And for the voters, also understanding that when votes are happening, it's the majority wins. So we have to make sure that we get other like-minded elected officials in the space so that we can build the community that we want.
We have those disconnected voters, people who are disconnected from state politics. How do you plan on reaching them?
Well, I'm hoping that after they see that we're in a whole like lightweight dictatorship, that they wake up and kind of, move themselves towards voting. But, I get it. For so long, people believe that politicians they're corrupt and they don't care about the voices of the people. And I absolutely get that and understand, because I know what it feels like to ask an elected official, like, hey, I have this idea. Can you help me move it across the finish line? And there's crickets and silence. So, and I've always said this, that I think this is when the work for me becomes 10 times harder, because I am a community-oriented, focused person. I care about what the people care about. I care about what impacts your daily life, and I want to help you develop a solution to that issue. I think one way that we can we definitely have to mobilize our young people. And my goal this election cycle is to mobilize our 18 to 25-year-old population, get them excited. We have to meet them where they are. Our generation now, a lot of our young people are into social media.
Yes.
So you will see a lot of social media platform. When people come to a cookout or come to your event, they want music. Like, our young people want music. So I'm going to make sure that, that I'm doing what the people are doing, and I'm meeting people where they are. And really, it's being honest about what we're experiencing, this level of corruption that we're experiencing at the federal government. It's either we fight for democracy, we fight for our lives now, or we will find ourselves in this more entrenched authoritarian government, which is what we are experiencing right now. People's rights are being violated. And I think sometimes it's hard for some people to connect with what's happening in the world and what's happening in our society, because it's hard to imagine that a person is being disappeared, and it's hard to imagine that, people's SNAP benefits were taken away that impacted children. And it's definitely hard to imagine that when it's not happening to you. Yes. And I think that we have to bring these stories to people who are disconnected from the experience for whatever their personal reasons are. I've talked to people in everyday life who are not following what's happening with this current administration. Like, they're not watching the news. They don't even know that there's a Democratic Party, that there's a Republican Party. They don't know that this is happening. And I think it's important that we share the stories and experiences of others so that you can begin to feel and have empathy for another human being, and which potentially could be your neighbor.
Yes. So let's come home a little bit more and talk about a problem that faces us here in Las Vegas. How would you approach Nevada's growing challenge around water conservation and long-term sustainability?
This came up in my school board race, believe it or not. And I know that one community was really concerned in Spring Valley. They were concerned about the use of turf, and I'm very open to obviously our environment. We only have this earth that we need to protect and save, and we know that global warming and climate change is happening, and we're experiencing that. I think it is absolutely so important that we have to figure out ways to conserve our water. I know that Lake Mead, every time I see a picture of Lake Mead, like the water is like, lowering.
Yes.
You can see the lowering of the water. I think it's important that we have a team of experts and officials, a committee that can really focus in on how we can ensure that Nevada is using water properly. I know that there have been steps taken to just in the way that we water here. I know that there's time frames of watering to ensure that we're conserving water. But I do think that we need to have a team of experts who are environmental experts who can do this work in our community along with community members to talk about the strategies and the specific ways that here in Nevada we can save water. Now, you know what? Someone brought something to me the other day, and I have to do research on this, but did you hear something about they're trying to, that there was this is alleged, I don't know, I just heard a community member bring this up about bringing the Pacific Ocean to Nevada.
Oh,
Did you hear anything about that?
I did not hear that.
So I'm like, I'm gonna have to do some research. So and I'm all ears when the community speaks. I'm like, okay, let me go do some more research. But environmental justice, that's not my specialty area. However, I do believe that we need to make sure that we have environmental leaders. And here we can tap into our experts at UNLV and Nevada State College and Nevada State University and in Reno, where the research is happening. And I think it's absolutely important that we connect with our scholars and researchers who can provide us the strategies that we need to be successful here in Nevada.
Okay. Let's talk about your personal values and how they shape your approach to public service.
Absolutely. Oh, goodness. I think about this all the time. So my personal values, like number one, regardless of if you agree with me or not, I still care about you and I care about the issues that impact you. My research area that I'm working on in my PhD is teacher narratives and identity. So I love a good story. I love to hear my neighbor stories, my friends' stories, and my family stories on how they become the individuals that they become. And in that, some people may have a more challenging journey than others, and some may have a more fluid journey where they're like, oh, it was all unicorns and popcorn for me, right? But at the end of the day, I value humanity and I value what people have to say and what people bring to the table. And it may be totally different than my experience or what I have gone through in my own personal life. And I may not even agree with some of the solutions that people have, especially if they're harmful to another group. But at the end of the day, I want to hear what the community and what people have to say. I want to hear and understand and have empathy for individuals who are going through problems because they have a right to have their problems solved. And, what becomes challenging is that everyone may not have the same problem and everyone's solutions, they may butt heads. But now this is where the work comes in as a community where we have to give a little, take a little, compromise so that there's a safe space as much as possible for people who are impacted with whatever their specific situation is. I also value family. I think that people should be able to raise their families in a safe neighborhood. I feel that families should be able to grow their families. You should be able to have a business if you want to. You should be able to have the freedom to make money for your family in the way that you should without having all these barriers. I value justice. If you're wrong, you have a right to have justice, and you have a right to have those wrongs righted or have a solution for you. I value, I guess, because I can go on here for an hour about values, but I value coming together. I value our community coming together despite our differences and our different ideologies and thoughts, and trying to make sense of what's happening in society and figuring out a way that we can all thrive and be the best human beings that we can be.
There are some people who want to help you with your campaign. Maybe they want to donate. Maybe they want to spend some time knocking on doors for you. How do they contact you?
Yes, so listen, I need all hands on deck. And there are so many ways that you can contribute to my campaign. If you would like to get more information, you can check out my website at Kamilah, 4 Nevadans .com. If you want to contact me, you can contact me on my email, which is Kamilah, 4 Nevadans @gmail.com. And you can always Google me. And when you Google me, you'll find all of my social media platforms. So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok, Kamilah Bywaters.
All right. I'm going to leave the last word with you. What would you like our listening audience at the very end to think about when they think about Kamilah Bywaters?
Know that I'm committed to your future. And in 2026, there is no time for us to play around and play games. We need all hands on deck. We need to make sure that in these midterms in 2026, that we're voting for Kamilah Bywaters, and also those individuals who care about what you care about, who value what you value. Because right now we are in a fight for democracy, and it's important that we have elected officials in place who will build a barrier around what's coming down from the federal government.
You've been listening to The Culture Experience with Mel and Bruce. I'm Mel Tillar, your host, and until next time, remember, celebrate the culture.
The Culture Xperience.